Hey, it's Stacy with Green Owl Refabbed. I don't know, I've had some technical difficulties and the video just wasn't wanting to record. So I am here for my first rendition of Thrift Store Thursdays. And I'm going to show you a few finds that I picked up from some thrift stores and how you can make these items beautiful using some paint and Prima Marketing. We're going to use some different molds with resin and clay, and we're going to use Dixie Belle Paint and glue. And I've got a few things started already for the sake of time. And you can see I've already put some resin in these molds. And let's get down to it. Let me lower the camera here and show you what else I have. Okay, so I have a tissue box that was $1. I have another really fancy tissue box that I got here, and this one actually still has the Bed Bath & Beyond sticker in it, so it was probably never used. Maybe it was. $30 for that guy. I paid $1. I have a lamp here that I got started, like I said, for the sake of time. Cornstarch on there from the molds. This is what it looked like. I started painting and got some clay in one of the molds, and I have already applied that to the lamp. Isn't that gorgeous? Just wait until you see the finished product. We're going to do as much as we can online here today in my live video so you can kind of see the process. But yeah, I'm just pressing that on there a little more. But we're going to do one on this side, one on this side. I have waxes, powders, paints. We probably won't finish these on today, but you will see the finished versions on Facebook. And all of the products that I'm going to use can actually be purchased on my Etsy site. All of these molds, the clay, waxes, decor transfers, everything can be purchased on my Etsy site. It's etsy.com/shop/Green Owl Refabbed. So this here was a glass like vase, I guess you can call it. I got that for $1. And I put some gesso on here, or gesso. Gesso is kind of like an acrylic artist primer. I guess a lot of artists used it on their canvas paintings, etc. But we put some of that on the glass so that we can hold the designs that we're going to make and put on here. Some of the tissue boxes, like this one, this is just a plastic tissue box. I will probably also put some primer on this so that the paint adheres just a tad bit better. And the funny thing is, this was actually from Bed Bath & Beyond too for $7 just for this ugly plastic yellow tissue holder. I thought that these designs would look really fantastic on the sides, one on each side. These have been done in resin. They're very, very intricate molds, so I have a little bit harder time using the clay in those. So let's pull those out of the mold so I can get my camera to function correctly here. Now the way I get these out is I just kind of start working them away from the edges. Might not be quite ready yet. It seems a little soft still. Sometimes it helps just to, let me show you from this side, kind of bend and push very lightly. And pull these out. And you can see these are extremely pliable, so they will go anything around anything like this lamp. I mean, they'll curve right around all the curves. And I've showed you guys some of the projects I've been working on in the past. This is a pot that I've slowly been working on. This was a mold, actually, it's right here. This is the mold that I used for that one. This was made out of resin, painted, and there's one here on the other side as well. One of my last Facebook videos I did was I showed you how to make the keyholes mold, and I painted on some Dixie Belle patina iron and used the green spray to give it that rust look. This little pot's still not finished yet, but I mean, these molds and these designs, the paints, the antiquing powders, artisan powders, the gilding waxes, I mean, look at that. Look how cool that looks. And this was just a simple terracotta pot. Okay, so we have this one out, and this one, after I paint this, look how pretty that's gonna look. And then once we get some antiquing powders in here, it's just gonna be really, really awesome. All right, let's get this other one out of here. Sometimes they need a little bit of coaxing. These molds are very, very intricate, which is awesome for detail. This one is a really gorgeous flower design. Can you see the detail like in the flowers and everything? Very, very pretty. So let's see if that one will fit on there. Awesome. It's going. Let's get started on this glass vase first. I'm not going to paint. I'm going to paint over everything. So I'm using this quick hold glue. It's the first time I've used it actually, because I found the E6000 works really well, but when it's coming out, it just gums up really fast for me, and I get a little bit impatient with it. So I'm going to show you here. The only thing wrong with this is it actually smells like a skunk. I don't know why. So I'm just going to apply this to the back. And I like how it comes out kind of like a little pin, so I can get all around here real nice and easy. There we go. All over the back of that. And I just found that this works the easiest because it does have that long, thin end, and you can use it like a pin to get in all those little cracks and crevices. All right. So we're just going to put this right on there like that. Press down. I have it centered. And that won't take too long to dry. But the next thing I'm going to do is I found that these just do a little bit better with some primer on them. So let me grab my primer. I have this for some furniture I did recently because I knew there was going to be some really bad bleed through. This is just Kiehl's high stain blocker primer. We'll give that a little shake. Let me grab a brush. So sorry I wasn't a little bit better prepared here. Now I'm just going to use just a little bit of primer on my brush, because I do want this to dry fairly quickly so we can work on it together here live. I just like to dab my brush to get it in, get my paint in all the little nooks and crannies. All right. Looks like I have a nice thin layer on here now. All right, so we're just gonna let that dry. That's the primer. how pretty that's going to be. It was so plain, just plain glass. Gorgeous. Okay, so that's the little vase. Now we can go back to the lamp and show you how we made these. I've already taken my mold and put a really good fair amount of cornstarch in here, and what I use is just one of my Prima Marketing artisan powder brushes, just to really liberally brush in the cornstarch, as you can see here. And I'm using polyform paper clay. I'm just going to grab a nice chunk of clay and warm it up in my hands, smooth it around. Once again, for any of those that might be coming on for the first time, we're going to make this mold to put on this thrift store lamp that I got for $3. We're going to make one just like that to put around here on the other side. I really think it's fun how you can, you know, just sit at home and take objects and things that you already have in your own home or maybe at thrift stores for really inexpensive and turn them into really, you know, artsy treasures for your house really inexpensively. And I think the greatest pleasure I get is being able to look at these things and hi Patty, thank you. I think one of my favorite things is being able to look at these things and know that I made them. I just recently had some dental work done that was pretty painful, and I was on Tylenol with codeine and laying in bed and looking at my wall and looking at my switch plate, and I thought, man, that's really plain and ugly. So the next day, yesterday, I took it off the wall and I started playing with it, and can you believe that I did this with these molds? Got it all on there, painted it. I'm not done yet, but we're gonna work on this today so that you can see what we're gonna turn these types of things into. I just wanted to have several different projects in different processes for you. So what I'm doing here is I'm just pushing the paper clay into my mold. Really easy to work with. I keep cornstarch because it will stick to your fingers a little bit. Keep cornstarch nearby. I'm trying to hurry since we are on Facebook Live. All right, so we have that on there. I'm just gonna take my little roller, give it a good roll towards the edges so I can get that extra off, just like that. There we go. And then I'm gonna take my scraper and just scrape across, just like that. Then I'm gonna do it again here. Don't worry if it starts to go into these other molds. This is air dry clay, so I mean, it'll harden up and fall out of the other side there eventually. Now see how it's starting to come along? I'm just pushing and scraping, just like that. It's pretty easy. I mean, it is time consuming, and you do have to have some patience. And then I take my fingers and I just start kind of pulling it away from the edges. Now I see here I have two pieces that need to show through, so I'm just going to give it a little scrape like that. And I do want to make this as flat as possible because, you know, I'm going to be applying it to a flat surface. The surface might be rounded, but I want it to be flat so that I don't have gaps. Hi, Stanley. That is my cockatiel Stanley talking to me over there. Okay. So you can see pretty easy. Now, getting these out sometimes in these larger molds can be a little more tricky. I'm not an expert at it by any means. In fact, I've ruined several. Let's see, that's a little thin right there, so I'm gonna put some more in. Okay, sorry, this is probably gonna be the longest part of the video here. I just want you to see how I'm using the clay to do this. Sorry, I'm on my camera. Okay, now let's see if this is ready to come out. I kind of try to let gravity pull a little bit. That's how I do it. You can do it any way you want. I'm gonna make sure I have plenty of cornstarch on my fingers. And just very gently coax it out of there because I don't want it to tear. There we go. Again, you can get all these molds on my Etsy shop. It's etsy.com/shop/green owl refab. Okay, so we have this one out of there. And you can see it's very delicate. And it's still wet, but it's very pliable, so I can put it, you know, around the rounded surface of my lamp. I'm gonna turn this over in my hand. Make sure I get it faced the right way. And get a layer of my glue on here. Hi Patty, it is pretty neat, isn't it? And it's fairly easy. And you know, some of these items like this that you can buy at artisan markets or, you know, even Pottery Barn or different places are so expensive. And you know, if you want to be a little crafty, then you know, that's why I'm here showing you how. It just takes a little bit of patience, and I don't know, I really enjoy it. I like being creative and making things. Okay, so now we have some of this skunky smelling glue on here. I don't know why it smells like a skunk, kind of weird. And I'm gonna take my lamp, and that one's hardened up enough that I can turn my lamp over onto it. I haven't painted this side yet. It's fine, it's not a problem. I just had it raw so you could kind of see what it looked like from the thrift store. And now I'm gonna very carefully take this and lay it right there in the middle where I want it, and kind of line it up with this side that's here. And I'm just going to press it down real gently and mold it to my lamp. Now I'm not going to press too hard because I don't want to press into all those nice details. Now I'm going to have to move it over just a little bit to get it even. There we go. Make sure she's on there straight. And then I'm just going to let this dry. I like this glue because I can set things up like this and they won't slip down. E6000 is the same way. I found that some of the other glues, if you set the item up like this, they'll slip down on you slowly, but as you can see here, it's not moving, it's staying where I put it. So we're just gonna let that dry. Patty, this is glue that I picked up at Joann's. It's called Quick Hold, and it's clear, transparent, contact adhesive for craft. It said it was all-purpose and you could use it on anything. I was kind of making a joke because for some reason it smells like kind of like a skunk, but I'm just using this Quick Hold, and what I like about it is the skinny tip. So you know, when I'm putting it on the back of things, I can use it kind of like a pin on little details. Very easy to use. Okay, so while that's drying, I'm going to show you some of the advanced techniques that we will be doing on the other projects that were like this one that we just did and the lamp that we just did. You can see here how detailed, I don't know if it'll blur, but very, very, very detailed. So I had primed this, and then I used one of my favorite colors, Dixie Belle Sandbar. And I did that yesterday so I'd have it ready for today. Of course, this isn't from a thrift store, but it is thrifting because I pulled this off my wall to do this. So give me just a second. I gotta grab my waxes and my artisan powder so we can get that on there. So this is Dixie Belle's Best Dang Wax in clear. Yep, that's my clear wax. Sorry about that, folks. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my Dixie Belle clear wax, and I'm going to do a light coating over all this. And then we have the Prima Memory Hardware Artisan Powder. This one is called Partheny Umber. It's a brown. So what we're going to do is we're going to lightly put that in all these little nooks and crannies to age this. And then let's see. I have the Prima redesigned Decor Wax, and this one is called Shiny Star. And it's like a gilding wax. This one's silver. So I don't not the one I wanted. I wanted Diamond Dust. It's kind of a goldish color, and it'll look good with this sandbar off-white and the brown. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just going to take my basic wax brush and give my piece just a nice thin layer of clear wax, and that gives my artisan powder something to adhere to. Again, you can get all the artisan powders and the waxes on my site, my Etsy shop. I had some technical difficulties when I got started, so I wasn't actually able to put the description on the video, but it'll have the link to my Etsy shop. Nice thin layer of wax on there. I'm just making sure that it got in all those nooks and crannies, because that's where I want my artisan powder to rest. Okay. Now again, we're using Prima's artisan powder. This one is called Partheny Umber. I forgot exactly what color this is. We may go with black. Nope, this is just right. I'm just going to use, again, This is a Prima powder brush. And I think this is kind of funny because it's like using makeup. You know, you peel it off and a little bit comes up to the top. Alright, so you can see I got just a little bit there. I'm just going to grab a little bit on my brush and start working that into my piece. I want it to rest in all those little nice nooks and crannies in the detail on this. Give it that old, dirty, kind of worn look. So I did that, and now what I'm going to do, because I don't want it to stay just like that, I'm going to grab my cloth here, and I'm going to add just a little bit of wax to it. I'm going to go in there and I'm just going to wipe it away where I don't really want it. I really just wanted it to, you know, rest in the details. So you can see how easy this is to work with. I just put a little bit of clear wax on my towel. And just simply going in and wiping off where I don't really want it. Can you see what I'm doing there? It just leaves it in the details. And you could leave it super dirty. You can, you know, define it a little like I am. That's the beauty of it. You can kind of make it look however you want. See, can you see what I've done there? Now that was just using the artisan powders to get in all those crannies and give it a really nice antique aged worn look. Now the next thing I'm going to do, just for a little bit of flair, is I'm going to use the Prima Redesign Decor Wax Diamond Dust. It's kind of a goldish type color. Now a little goes a very, very long way with this. So I'm just going to dip the tiniest bit on my finger. It's, you can see here, real shiny. And I'm just going to kind of just barely go over the details with that. I really love it because it's not quite gold. It's just a yellowy, sparkly, metallic. I don't really know how to explain it. It is called diamond dust. It's not gold. And this decor wax comes in several different colors, lots of different colors actually, blues, greens, And it's just like a gilding wax. I don't even know if you can see. You see the shiny a little bit? You see that? Where I just brushed it on there? Pretty cool. I put extra on there. I don't want to keep it that shiny, but I can kind of see the details that brings out. Really nice. You can use as little or as much as you like. That's the nice thing about it. I'm just going kind of light with it. Also, the fact that we put the clear wax on there, that'll seal all the paint in that we put on. All right. I am done. I'm just putting a little bit extra on my leaves and in the middle of my flower here. So pretty. All right. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this. Hi, Cindy. Thanks for joining. Okay, so I've used several products today. I'm using the Prima redesign molds and my Prima powder brush. I'm also using the Decor Wax. That's what I've been putting on my light switch plate. This is Diamond Dust. I don't know if you can see the sign. That was Diamond Dust that we put on my light switch cover. I don't know if you can see just in where I put it. It's real pretty, kind of shiny metallic. Just gives it the details on here, a nice little bit of flair. I've also used, to get in the details and give it that really nice antiquing look, like that, I used Partheny Umber, Prima's Memory Hardware Artisan Powder. The wax, yes, the wax that I used for the detail was the Decor Wax Diamond Dust. The wax that I used over the whole thing was actually Dixie Belle Clear. So, alright, so we finished up my light switch cover. I'm really not sure how well you can see where I put my Diamond Dust at. Just a few details. Thank you, Cindy. It's kind of funny, I was telling everyone that I was laying in my room yesterday sick after some dental work and looking at how boring my light switch plate looked. So I decided to play a little bit. And I used several different molds to get this design. This design here is from the Tilden Flourish. You can see those right there. This was the PAIX pie mold, was what was in the middle here. And then these flourishes that I got here, I don't remember what mold that one came off of. I don't have it with me. But today, Cindy, we're doing what I'm kind of now calling Thrift Store Thursdays. I had this glass vase that I put white gesso on and used one of the molds. We're working on a lamp that I got from a thrift store for $3. This is what the lamp looked like when I got it. It was white and shiny. I made these molds and put them on the lamp. We're also going to do a tissue box, another tissue box. You can see some other work that I'm in the mid-process of here. These are pots that I made using the molds. These are the keyhole mold here. Cindy, what I use in my molds, I use a couple different things. This one I made here was made out of resin, and I poured it in this mold, and I showed earlier in the video, you can go back and watch it, how to peel them out. It's really simple. That's just cornstarch coming off of here. Yeah, isn't that gorgeous? And some of the molds I actually use paper clay. This is Polyform Model Air. I made the molds that went on the lamp. Those were made out of the Polyform. Sometimes these bigger molds are a little more difficult to work with, the clay, so I do use the resin. These are, like for instance, this one here is so intricate that I do have a little bit more trouble with the clay. And don't worry about all that. That's just cornstarch that I use in my molds. And the resin, I don't think I mentioned it, the resin that I use is Amazing Resin. I bought this box at Hobby Lobby. It was $19.99 and I used my 40% off coupon. All the other products, the Prima products, can all be purchased on my Etsy website, which is www.etsy.com/shop/Green Owl Refab. So I think we're gonna finish up here and I will paint and finish all these other projects. Unless you guys want me to keep on going, we could paint this guy if you'd like. But yeah, this is the light switch cover we did. This is going to be a finished product. Let's see, these aren't dry enough yet to start painting. That was the clay. I can show you how easy it is to adhere these. This was the resin one. And I can show you how easy it is to adhere it to this tissue box. Again, the glue I'm using is called Quick Hold. And I like how it has this pin tip. You're very welcome, Cindy. I'm gonna just put some glue on here. It's really nice and easy. And this is a really slick surface, so I'm hoping that it'll adhere well, but this was a tissue box holder that I bought for $1 at a thrift store. Now, the one thing about the resin and also the clay is you do need to work with it right away. I mean, within an hour. As the resin ones sit, especially, like one day I accidentally left them in my mold for a couple days because I had gotten sick and they were hard as a rock. I kept them to use on you know, furniture or anything flat, but this tissue box does have a slight rounded face to it. So I'm just gonna hold this on here while it gets a little drier. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll just put duct tape across there to hold it if I don't feel like sitting here for a few minutes, but because I do want it to stay curved. And I don't know, you can't really see the face of this, but it does have a slight curve, and I don't want to see how the side is popping up just a little bit, so that's why we're going to hold it down. Straighten that back out there. Isn't that pretty? I mean, it could even stay on this yellow and white. I don't know. It's actually kind of pretty, but I'm going to paint it because I paint everything. I don't know what color yet. What color do you think I should go with on this guy? I'm thinking gray or vintage duck egg. The lamp I did in tea rose because it's such a pretty, just vintagey pink color. But I think vintage duck egg and sandbar, driftwood, all Dixie Belle paints have really become some of my favorite go-to colors. All right. Now what I do is once I take my fingers off, I just make sure that it's not going to pop up anymore on the sides, and it hasn't, so I think it's okay to sit there. And let's see. If you guys are still watching, I will pour some more resin. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Please check it out. Most of my stuff is on there. I do have another shipment coming because people have been buying and I need to get some of my shop restocked. So let's show you real quick how I use the mold. And the purpose of today is Thrift Shop Thursday, just to show you how you can take completely ordinary household and garage sale and junk store items, you know, that you buy for $1, $2, and turn them into something truly amazing. Okay, so with the resin, and I've showed this in some of my other videos before, you have two different chemicals and you mix them in equal parts and stir it up and pour it. And it's usually set and ready to use in about 15 minutes. I know this video is getting long. I've showed you guys so many things today. So I'm gonna mix 50-50 the two different resin chemicals. Again, this is just amazing casting resin that I purchased at Hobby Lobby to try out. All right, now we're gonna pour those in there. I just mix them up with a wooden stick. I buy these packages of popsicle sticks at the Dollar General, actually. It's like $1 for 100 of them, so. All right. Now, I just pinch the, it is chemistry class, Cindy. I really hated that in school. I don't know about you. Then we're just gonna pour these in. You do have to go kind of quickly but patiently because this will harden in the little cup. Let's see, I'm just getting it in all the spots inside the mold here. And now I gotta get this one. Alright, looks like I had just enough to get these two done. Perfect. I always get nervous that I'm not going to have quite enough and I have to do it again, but we got it on this one. Okay. So that's going to take a good 15 minutes to set, and I can show you here when it happens that it'll start to turn kind of white. For those just joining me, we are working on thrift items that you can make. This is a light switch plate cover I did. Here we're working on a thrift store lamp. This is what it looked like when I bought it. Just an ugly white lamp. It was $3. You can't go wrong there. Our glass vase, that was $1. We're working on that using the molds. I can't wait to finish this one. It's gonna be really, really pretty. I think I might take this to work and use it as my pencil and pen holder on my desk. Here's some pots that I've done. Those are called keyholes. This pot's not finished yet. This one's almost finished. I just keep feeling like it needs a little something else. But this is all using the Prima redesign molds. Oh, here we go. Okay, see how fast that is? That's turning white, and so it's starting to harden up, and so this is gonna be done soon. And then we are gonna apply these to this tissue box. Okay guys, I think I've showed you just about everything I can for today. This has been a pretty long video. Thank you for joining me for Thrift Store Thursday, and next week we'll be back. We'll do this again, and I'll show you all the finished products and we'll start some more, okay? Thanks everybody for watching.